Alright guys, what is up? What's going on, Gaming Compute? I had a bit of a fit yesterday, but I think I'm just now I think back to normal. Uh Spotify for podcasters. Now we're gonna call it Spotify for creators. Um if you go on their YouTube channel, um they do they're trying to make it like something new and improved. Uh, Too many switches, I would say. This is one of many. Some good news, but I'm not 100% sure how good of news it really is. Um, they they put the app back up, and it appears that you should be able to record onto it. Now, it's easy to make a new podcast on there, but if you want to get into an already established podcast and log in, that might be where the issues come in. Um, I went through every troubleshooting thing yesterday. It first took me ages to figure out how to even get into the app, like how to actually, you know, uh, go on the app. So like I was on the app, got on there. You have to upload a thumbnail picture of some kind for the podcast that you're going to be working on using your smartphone app, and then you also have to um, yeah, you have to put that. You have to put your email address and basically the name of your account and everything. Um, but that's what you have to do when you first look at it. So I guess the issue I ran into first was trying to find how to actually get to uh, get to a podcast of mine. So like an already established podcast, because it didn't seem like anything was working. But if you go to the top right thumbnail and click on that, if you go and click the option to add a show, it gives you the option of I want to start a new show, which unless you're brand new or wanting to start new, that's probably not the one you're trying to do. Then they have one that says I already have a show. It gives you options for opening through Spotify for Creators, Megaphone by Spotify, or somewhere else. Or it says not sure which to choose. There's a, a link at the bottom you can kind of click. So if I type in the name of this, podcast for Gaming Compute, um, it gives you the option to type in your email or type in the name of your podcast. It doesn't show by email. It doesn't show by podcast name. It doesn't seem to work. I don't really know. Um, Let me see. Even if I type in one that I know. Okay, so there are. Okay, if I type in a podcast that I actually listen to, um, those. Okay, the first one did show up. The second one did show up. I typed in Joe Rogan Experience. Um, let me see. So, yeah, mine don't seem to work. I don't know if anyone else's work. Um, but let's see. That I guess is my first issue is like show name or email isn't showing up. It says that they can send you the verification. That doesn't work. Now what did work is when I didn't, well, it didn't fully work yet, but when I did go through not the Spotify under add a show, when I didn't go through Spotify for creators, when I went through somewhere else and then I went to email me a link, um you know, you can open in browser and go to email me a link. Um so I don't really know, like I'm really not sure how on earth this works. Um and that's why yesterday I was both very ecstatic. So now actually, okay, now you can log in. Um it says login with Spotify account. Yesterday that was not the case. So let me see if it lets me do this. Um Jeez. I don't know if I know my Spotify passwords on here. Um okay. Okay, so that didn't work for this one, but I think it's cuz I attached a brand new podcast to it. Um Let me try something else. If I go and I spent so long yesterday trying to figure this out. That login option was not even there yesterday. It didn't give you the option to log in using Spotify yesterday. Um, uh, yeah, we want to use Spotify.com to sign in. That's exactly what we want to do. I don't even know. This is. If I try another one. The thing is, I have multiple podcasts, so you would think some of it would work. Okay, so one of them did work. And if I just go to, can I record? You can upload, so you have to basically record on your phone, upload it from a file. It doesn't look like you can record directly into this app. Yesterday, there didn't seem to be a login. Now there is a login at least, so now we can log into our accounts. Yesterday, basically, it just went straight to like make a new account, and that was not really what I was trying to do. So now at least one of my podcasts I can find. So let me see if it even uploads. I don't know if I select the file to upload. I did this testing 1 2 3 mic check thing yesterday. Yeah, it basically has you can put the description. I'll put tester for the description. Explicit, no. Paid, no. Okay. And then description tester. And And if I put to schedule, if I schedule this for an hour from now, did it go? It looks like it went. So if I go back to my desktop and check and make sure that it worked, then hopefully that'll be fine. I spent so long yesterday, you guys, messing around with this thing to the point where I didn't get other stuff done. I probably should have just logged out and then tried to log back in again, because that is where I was able to actually log in using my Spotify just now. So it worked on one of my accounts. When I went to the creator, like going through creators, it wasn't working for me for some reason. I really don't know. It said, the options of sending an email link or um, connecting your account from Megaphone. I know there was an option also where you could on the desktop version. I saw it yesterday where you could put your RSS feed link and it would just upload all your podcast episodes if you had an outside podcast. And it told me you already have a podcast. But I don't know. I'm still going to be fumbling around with things. Whenever they change something, it's like, the logins. I need to get my logins set up straight and make sure everything is like solid. But I guess the only thing I like about it so far of the changes that I've seen, now that I can stop losing my mind over the app not working like I thought, because I thought the app was working, and then I tried to use it yesterday and I couldn't get it to log into my accounts. There wasn't really an option that was working yesterday, and I've had some error messages too. Logging in this morning, there was like some gigantic string of code at the top of my podcast. I was just like, not this again. Like I'm not trying to wake up and like deal with all this, but I was able to log into one. But like I'm saying, I did have issues yesterday that that the options to kind of try to attach the podcast were not working yesterday. So for me, they were not working. And when I went into the comments, because I did put a comment after my second round of trying to work this thing out, I put a comment kind of explaining the issue I was having, and I saw at the very bottom somebody else put a comment about like you can't log in, and I replied to that comment, but I don't know, I can't really see my comment on there, but I was kind of like, yeah, you can't really log in. But someone else was frustrated, saying that they stopped recording their show because Spotify had changed. It went from Anchor.fm to you know I don't even remember at this point, to Spotify for podcasters, to Riverside, to Spotify for creators. Well, there was something between Riverside. I think they did make it so you don't have to use Riverside, but I think for a little bit they rolled out that Riverside option, and that was just not good. I remember trying to upload from a hotel, and hotel Wi-Fi is so crappy sometimes. It was so bad. I was like, it took me like most of the day to upload like an hour and a half worth of content, and I was just every time they change something, it's like it sets me back. It's not like I'm posting every day, but every time I record something, it sets me back because I have to spend like a day or two fumbling around. This time, my fumbling around, I guess, as of this morning, logging out and logging back in, there was the option. But all those options I was just going through before I logged out and logged back in, that was the issue I was having yesterday. Nothing was connecting to the accounts that I do have, and I wasn't able to search them. I wasn't able to find them. And so, what do you do with that? You know, it was a frustrating situation, but at least I have hopes now. I found one of my multiple podcasts at least available through the app with recording. I do like what they did to the analytics. I'm gonna give them kudos for that. Anything that strengthens like analytic data, I mean it. I mean they basically are tailoring it toward what they need you to have access to. So they, because of their monetization program, the partner program that they have now, because you're required, if you're using that program, you're going to be required to um, um, sorry, I lost my train of thought. If you're using that program, you're going to be required to track your streams. You need 2,000 streams every over a 30-day period, but 10,000 hours worth of people consuming your content. So you've got to have at least 10,000 hours worth, at least an hour worth of 10,000 people listening to it, or an hour worth with 10,000 people listening to it, or 2,000 people listening to the amount that'll get you to if 2,000 people listen to 5 hours. Like if you have 2,000 people, basically they need to listen to 5 hours worth of your content in 30 days. So you have to have probably at least 5 hours of content, preferably more than that. But you can kind of do the numbers and see what you get and how much you need to post. I mean, it's not completely stable, but say if you get, I don't even know, when I start doing this math in my head, it becomes a disaster. So 100, say if you have like 100 people listening on a monthly basis, every 30 days you're getting exactly 100. Let's just make it easy. If you're getting exactly 100, then you need, like, if you're getting exactly 100 people, well, that's not going to work. You have to have minimum 2,000 people, 2,000 streams, which means, and I'm assuming it's unique streams. So if I go in and I listen to 5 hours, if I'm one of those 2,000 people listening to 5 hours of content on somebody's podcast, and I listen to the same episode, it was the same 1 hour episode 5 times, I don't think that would count. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know if that would count. But they do tell you they do tell you now your information. They give you the stats as far as like what's going on with Spotify, with your Spotify account. They basically give you that information, and you can compare it in your analytics to. You can compare it to the other apps. Now, with monetization, I didn't try this, but I talked about it before. With monetization, I think I've thought about this, but have not done it, and don't know if I will do it. Looking into some different um, options. So, like looking into the other podcast platforms that Spotify is pushing your content towards, seeing if you can get a login for those accounts, and seeing if you can get monetized on other platforms. I don't know how strict the other platforms are in comparison, but I'm hoping, at least it would give some opportunity. I don't know, like with Amazon or Apple Podcasts and all these other podcasts, I really don't know how often they change um, uh, their their information and all that. I really don't know, but anyways, it's 8 a.m. I need to go make some breakfast. I've got some breakfast I need to be making right now. It's gonna be a lot of protein. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go eat, and then I've got a digital day going on today. I've got some groceries coming. I'm making some. I don't know if it's pronounced lavish or lavash or what, but I'm making some wraps for lunch probably. Um, and then we shall go from there. All right, guys. So that's about it for now. Hopefully, you guys find this helpful. Um, if you're having trouble with the app, try to log out and log in again, see if it gives you different options. You might want to make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi. I've noticed with some of these apps, it's a little difficult when you're not connected to Wi-Fi, or you might have to re-download the app again. But just know you don't have to restart a podcast if you already have one. It does look like you are able to log in and you are able to, post. Um, but you just can't post directly into the app. You have to save the files on your phone and then select the file to upload. Which I'll take it, I'll take it because I like recording on my phone way more. But just, having the ability to log in, that might become an issue. So if you can't log in, you might have a little bit of a problematic situation going on there. Um, but yeah, I'm ready to kind of enjoy the rest of my morning. I'm only working on things today that I want to work on. I have a lot of work to do though, but I'm excited about it. Yesterday was not good. It was not. I'll just say that. I was like, man, I was not happy. Um, and I wasn't the only one that wasn't able to log in because there was that other comment that somebody left too. So I don't know if there was like some glitch or if I don't know. I don't know what was going. I still can't find my other ones or log into my other ones. So just know that if you're having weird issues, I was having weird issues too. I still am, but now that I've confirmed that I can log into at least one of my podcasts, I've got to figure out why I can't log into the other ones. But one of them did work, one of four. So I'm gonna try to do it again. I guess you can't, if you log in from the very start instead of logging in from within the app. Like I said, when I was initially saying clicking the thumbnail picture and trying to go that route of adding something new and going that route, that hasn't worked for me. But then this login option from from the start of the app wasn't an option yesterday, as far as I saw. Um, the first option it gave me was to start a new podcast, and that was basically where I went. Um, so that is not going to be fully helpful, but at least I did find one way to get in. So all I need is one way to log in. I don't need like 20 different ways to log in. So as long as I have the one that actually works. I'll take it for now. I'll take it. I'm like, just give me that one. But I've got a an online sales series that I'm hoping to post. I don't know when. I mean, it takes a while to collect data on things, and so I'm kind of in that process. So that's taking me a while. But all right, guys. Hope you like this episode. Hopefully, it's helpful. Hang in there. Don't get too frustrated. Um, it's getting harder and harder to make money podcasting, and harder to make money on Spotify. Like it was fine with Anchor; they were just handing out free checks, but now it's like they really make it so you have to up your game. So um, figuring out different strategies and things is always a good method. I'm here for that. I just don't always have the energy and time to put into more. I started working out more. I'm adding almost an extra hour to my workouts because my workouts were pretty weak. So that's cutting a little bit into my day as well. Because my stretching is lengthy, and then you know I'm basically adding like nearly an hour of like cardio, and so that's more time out of my day that I'm not putting into this stuff. Um, but I need to put the energy into the working out, and I'm seeing results from it. So I'm just not seeing a lot of results online because I'm not putting a lot of energy into it. So it might be that way for a little bit. But for now, that's it for right now. Thanks for listening.